Hi, and welcome to lesson number 8 of the Fundamentals of Slovenian Grammar course. So we are still on this topic of the base form, but today we will finally do some actual Slovenian itself. Finally, I know it's all very grammar heavy and dry, but at the end of the day, this is a course for Slovenian grammar. This is like, instead of reading a dry grammar book, hopefully this makes it a bit easier to digest. But anyway, today we will finally have a Slovenian text. Before we do that, just very briefly, the base form is the simplest form of a word. Both noun-like words and verbs have a base form, and this is very important to know because Slovenian is chaotic and we have to make sense of all of the madness, basically. And words that have a base form are nouns, adjectives, pronouns, and verbs. And with nouns, we said the base form is singular, nominative, whatever gender that noun happens to be. With adjectives, it's singular, nominative, masculine. And with pronouns, it's always a nominative, and then number and gender are whatever that pronoun happens to be. And with verbs, we said it is the infinitive, which is a separate verb, which is a separate word form or category altogether. And it ends in a TI. And it does not have person, it does not have number. It's personless and numberless. Finally, we have a Slovenian text. I'm just going to read it first. Rad imam pse in ne morem razumeti ljudi, ki psov ne marajo. Psi so ljubeči in zvesti. V parku rad opazujem ljudi, kako se igrajo s svojimi psi. Moj prijatelj ima 2 psa in včasih ju čuvam, ko je na dopustu. Pes je res človekov najboljši prijatelj. Pogosto razmišljam o psih in mogoče bom tudi sam enkrat imel psa. Let me read it one more time. This time I'll just translate as I go along. And as you can see, the bold letters indicate where the stress is. When we say stress, we just mean that one syllable is pronounced slightly louder than the rest of the word. So for example, in the word imam, the second word in the text, the stress is on the A, which means it's imam. We say that a bit louder. If the stress were on the I, it would be imam. So the difference is between imam and imam. And this just makes Slovenian easier to read. Let me read and translate. Rad imam pse. I like dogs. In ne morem razumeti ljudi, and I cannot understand people, ki psov ne marajo, that do not like dogs. Psi so ljubeči in zvesti. Dogs are loving and loyal or faithful. V parku rad opazujem ljudi. At the park, I like to watch people. I like to observe people. Obviously, I don't do this. This is just I had to come up with a text where the word dog would be in as many different forms, cases as possible. So this is made up, thankfully. I don't go to the park to observe people. Anyway, v parku rad opazujem ljudi. At the park, I like to watch people. Kako se igrajo s svojimi psi. How they play with their dogs. Moj prijatelj ima 2 psa. My friend has 2 dogs. In včasih ju čuvam. And sometimes I look after the 2 of them, ko je na dopustu, when he is on vacation. Pes je res človekov najboljši prijatelj. Dog is really or truly man's best friend. Pogosto razmišljam o psih. I often think about dogs. In mogoče bom tudi sam enkrat imel psa. And maybe I will myself once have a dog. Now we have pse, pso, psi, psi, psa, pes, psich, psa. So we have the word psi twice and the word psa twice. But even those 2 psi and 2 psa are actually grammatically different. They express different things. It's just that they express them with the same word in appearance, but it's kind of a different psa and a different psi both times. So we have 8 different versions of dog in Slovenian. And so how do we know which one is the one we should remember? Well, actually the word is pes. It's PES. It's colored blue because it's masculine. It's masculine because it ends in a consonant, because it has an S. And we're coloring the E red because it's pronounced as an It's not important right now, but that's something we will always tend to do. And so the question now is, when reading a Slovenian text, how can we know what the how can we know that pso is actually pus, and that psich is actually pus, and that psi is actually pus? Well, basically, it's difficult. I mean, I tried giving it some thought how this worked before the internet, or even in the pre-digital era, and we either have to know a lot about grammar already, which is kind of like a catch-22, or and in that case we can reverse engineer it, or I'm guessing we were just in the past, I mean, we were just forced to ask a Slovenian person, or to have a textbook, and have the textbook tell us what that word actually is. But in the past it was pretty difficult, I imagine, for learners of Slovenian. Now, thankfully, nowadays we have electronic dictionaries. That's the good news. And with an electronic dictionary, one of the basic functions is it's like a search engine. You type in any word and then in any form, and then it'll give you the entire table. And so you just kind of have to make sense of the table then. So that's the good news. The bad news is that it's 2026 and Slovenian still does not have a electronic dictionary, which kind of boggles the mind. And I don't want to go on a rant here, but this is something that's really quite incredible. I mean, I'm almost embarrassed, even though it's not my responsibility. Obviously, I'm almost embarrassed to not be able to give my students this fundamental resource. This is the most fundamental of resources for learning any language, and I would guess that most, if not all, other European languages have some kind of dictionary like that. And when I was studying translation at university, which was like 15 years ago, the feeling I got then, or like the feeling I got was that any day now, basically. I'm sure that's not what the professors actually said, like any day now, but but we were always told like it's being developed, they're working on it, and it was kind of like I got the feeling it's around the corner. 15 years later, nothing has changed. I don't know why nothing has changed. I don't know why it hasn't been done yet, which is kind of like really a shame for all learners of Slovenian. So unfortunately, we do not have that most basic of functions, and so we have to use or combine other resources. Now, here is a very, very old resource that this probably will be obsolete by the time many of you watch this video, because AI is just becoming so much better by the day. But in the past, this is something I gave my students, and this is like I would imagine an old proofreading program. It was just like a program to proofread Slovenian texts and check commas and punctuation and so on. But one of the functions it had was that function of a search engine where you can type in any form of any word and get everything else, get a table of the whole thing. So even though this might not be a thing by the time you watch this video, let's just see how this works. So you type any version of pus in that link, and this is what you get. So I'm just going to quickly translate all of this. So we have noun, samostalnik, and then common name. Moški spol means masculine gender, and then we have the singular, dual, and plural. This is one of our big three. This is number. And then we have the nominative, the genitive, the dative, the accusative, the locative, and the instrumental. Those are our cases, of course. So pus is masculine, that is our gender. It says so also here. Moški spol, that is our gender. Here is our number, and here is case. So those are our big three. And so if you came across the word psich in a Slovenian text and you had no idea what psich is, you type it in that link and you see, oh, this is actually pus. Now, one more entry for verbs. Let's say you come across the word delajo in a Slovenian text and you don't know what delajo is. You put it in there and you can see that it's actually delati. And it is a verb, it is a full verb, glagol, polnopomenski glagol. The infinitive is delati. This part is really not important, and this says present tense, sedanik. And then we have the interplay of singular, the number, singular, dual, plural, and first person, second person, third person. So I work is delam, you work is delash, he, she works dela, and then the two of us, the two of you, the two of them, delava, delata, delata, and we work, you work, they work, delamo, delate, delayo. Now, this is number and this is person, of course. Now, I said that this is probably obsolete by the time you watch this video because ChatGPT, just one of the many AI agents, has been getting so much better in the last year that I've been using it that it's kind of scary. It used to make mistakes all over the place, and it used to make, when it comes to explaining Slovenian grammar and asking it stuff about Slovenian, it used to make a lot of mistakes. It used to hallucinate a lot, and it did so very confidently. So you could never really know if what you were getting is accurate or not. I would say that it's gotten so much better by this point, whenever this video gets uploaded, that it gets stuff right 95% of the time or more. And it's really scary how accurate it is, even with things that you would say that maybe only a native speaker could tell you, like very, very minute differences in connotation, in how a word feels, like slight differences between two similar adjectives and stuff like that. And when I first tried recording this video, the first version of this video, it was a couple of months ago, and then I wanted to include this slide. And this is what I asked ChatGPT a couple of months ago. What's the base form of psich in Slovenian? And it got it wrong. In Slovenian, psich is already in its base form. Wrong, it's not. Pus is the base form. And then it says base form psich, which is wrong. Part of speech, noun, that's correct. Gender, masculine, that's also correct. Number, singular. I mean, all of those are correct if we have pus in mind, but it's saying that this is for psich. And so it confidently says, so when you see psich in a dictionary, that is the base form, the form you build all other cases from. Now, this was a couple of months ago. Now, when I recorded this video again, so this time, I asked it again, and this time it got everything correct. And I asked it several different words. So I didn't go through like 30 different words to see if there's some chance of it making a mistake. I just asked it a couple of words, but still it got everything correct, which it did not 2 months ago. So what's the base form of cow in Slovenian? It nails everything. The base form of cow in Slovene is kava. Why cow appears? Cow is not an independent base word. It's a declined form of kava. Slovene nouns change endings depending on case and number. Cow is the genitive plural, and it gives you the entire table, and all of that is correct. So I'm kind of on the fence. I'm not sure, like I can't tell you to fully trust it. I can't guarantee you that it does not make mistakes anymore. And depending on like when you watch this video, if it's like half a year later or a year later, chances are it's perfect. So I would strongly suggest asking AI, using it as a kind of companion to learn Slovenian. And one of the most important things you can ask it is what is the base form of a particular word? And then you can follow it up with the other two questions we had, like why is it in this, what is this form that I'm looking at, and why is it in this form? And it can explain all of the grammar behind that. So the point, we go back to the point of the base form, yes, so that we can, we've spent so much time on this concept of base form, but it's important enough. And so the point is just so that we can use phrases like this, if the word is in its base form, and know what we mean by that, and what we mean by that for the 10th time. I'm sorry if I keep repeating myself too much. I think repetition is good though. If it's a noun, the base form is singular nominative, whatever gender the noun comes in. If it's an adjective, it's singular nominative masculine. If it's a pronoun, it's nominative, and then whatever person and case that pronoun comes in. With verbs, it is the infinitive. And here we have again our three questions. What is the base form? What is this form? And why is it in this form? Those are all very, very useful ways of thinking about Slovenian grammar and breaking down Slovenian grammar. And you can definitely use ChatGPT or some other AI to ask questions like that, especially because, Again, I'm almost embarrassed to say we do not have a dictionary. It's the basic tool you need for learning a language. It's just not here yet. I don't know when it will be. So until then, kind of AI has beaten. I don't even know who's developing it, but whoever is working on that, AI has apparently won the race, and now we already have AI. So it's kind of like I'm assuming it's going to be powerful enough in the near future to kind of be an interactive dictionary, or to have the same functionality at least, if you're a learner of Slovenian. So you can ask it all kinds of different stuff. I just advise still checking with your teacher. Sometimes it still says things that are outright wrong, or just says some stuff that I don't quite agree with a native speaker when it comes to like when to use certain words and how frequent some phrases are and stuff like that. This is the most important of the three. Thank you for tuning in to yet another lesson. I hope this is useful, and I hope to see you in the next one. Take care.